Good morning. How are you today? Happy Friday. Welcome to the studio at Two Girls Treasure. I'm Diane Pruitt, and we are starting on a new project. We finished the buffet. We've got some metallic accents on it with our brand new shimmering sage. Looks stunning, y'all. It looks so amazing. Check out the reels. Check out the TikTok video. Click like and throw some hearts out on the photograph. Let's get that thing kicked out into the Facebook algorithm where God and everybody can see it. I'm really proud of that piece. Thank you for being here with me and working along while we tutorialed in the hurricane. It's gone. The sun is shining. For the first time in days, the sun is shining. We're really happy about that. I hope you're still safe, and I hope that everything at your home is in good order and undamaged. Let's kick off Friday with this little jewel. I did some work yesterday. Ariel was in the studio with me. She's back again today. She loves it. But we're taking this little sewing table and we're actually going to create a vanity. Just a small one, just something that will fit in a smaller space, because generally speaking, vanities and dressing tables are really big and not everybody has that kind of space. So I cut a bottom board to fit, and you can see the wood putty. I've got a blend of wood putty and glue, and I backfilled the mortised spots where the hinges used to be, and this is nice and dry, so I'll hit that with the cordless sander. Not right now, because that's going to make a mess. I might take this outside. And I've got the top piece off. I've got the blocks ready to support this. And I was measuring this because I want to know how much opening we actually have here. We've got right at 16 5/8 by 11 1/4. Well, we don't want something that big, but we're going to go through the store. We're going to find a mirror or a glass that we can make a mirror, so that we can mount the mirror on the inside of the lid, so that once we mount the lid on here and it's closed, when you open it, bam, you'll have a mirror right there to use. The inside's going to look fantastic, but what are we doing with the outside? Well, Ariel made a great suggestion this morning. We're going to put some molds on it. Today's the day. Now, Lisa Polson is working along with us on the paint along. I know Brenna said she had a table like this. I don't know if she has time to paint along with us, but if she does, we're doing a paint along. Are you going to play with us? Get your useless old sewing tables out and let's do a paint along. Your paint color and your metallic, send me a picture, send me a message, tell me what you're working with, and let's do a discount on those so that you've got the materials you need to make your project super duper stunning. I'm going to move the scrap lumber out of the way because you know I didn't throw it away. You know I'm like, I can clean that up and use that for something. So I've got a little stash of lumber over there, and we're going to make this beautiful. This is our front plate. I put some wooden dowels and rolled them in the wood putty and glue, and then crammed them in the holes where the drawer pulls used to be so that we could fill those in. Now, there's an extra one right here. Why there was a third hole drilled out, I don't know. But I used a piece of rush from the rush seats I took apart, ran that through the wood putty and the glue, rolled that in there and trimmed that out already. So we have this nice and cleaned up. This will be Easy to sand down, still going to make a little bit of a mess because you always over putty so that you can sand it back and it will be flush with the wood and it'll look good. So we've got this, and I've got to trim these off. I've got a little coping saw that I can use for that. And I'll set this out of the way. That's our interior. This is our lid. We don't really want to put any molds on that. And we have a groove right here. We don't want to gum that up either. We might even want to put a knob on there. And we will use that wisely also. So then that leaves us with this front plate. Let me show you what it looks like. Just like it did. It looks just like it used to. Oh, it won't set flat because I have the dowels. But when it does set flat, let's see if I can turn this where you can see it. When it does set flat, it's going to look really good. But we have these legs, we have these beautiful sides, and I think we should doll this up and make it really special. So what to do here? What to do? Well, I suppose that really depends on the color schemes that we're talking about using. And I know y'all made some amazing suggestions. And you know, Ariel, I think we need to change our color scheme. She and I were talking about it right before we came on, and I have seen some of the most stunning furniture done lately, black on black. Black on black, I think maybe with some pewter highlights, or some shimmering gold, some pixie, what is it, pixie dust? Ooh, that would be nice. Let's go with that. Let's do it. Are y'all ready for this? Let's get some molds on here so that way when we get ready to paint this on Monday, where we start our paint along project, we'll be ready to rock this out. I'm going to tip you just a little bit, or a whole lot. Let me tip you a whole lot. I've got a stack of molds. I've got a bucket of clay that I just took out of the refrigerator. I have our Persephone in blue. We could put a Persephone on here. You know what? Oh, Ariel, she fits perfectly. Oh, y'all. Persephone fits right in the center. We could do a Greek goddess inspired dressing table. I think that's exactly what we should do here. So if we know Persephone fits here, this has some beautiful architecture to it, a little bit of space at the bottom and a lot of blank space around the top. I normally wouldn't sand. There was nothing wrong with the surface except where these holes were, there were rings dug in. You can't see them now because I took it outside and sanded it. I didn't want those rings on my surface, so I went ahead and sanded those out. Persephone will fit right here perfectly. I think we could even do some we could do the wreath around her, the laurel wreath around her. Oh yeah, let's celebrate women. Let's do that. All right, Persephone it is. Of course, we're going to have some roses, but let's find our laurel. Ooh, and we have the bows to go with. Yes. All right, we have all the things. The classic elements. We're not going to use invitation only, and we're definitely not going to put Christmas trees on. We need another mold set out of the cabinet of goodies. So let's find that so we can use it. Let's see. I love the dainty flourishes, but we've used that a lot in the last few months. We probably could even stand some of these cameos if we're going to do Persephone. We don't need any frames. The locks and keys are great. but they won't work if we've got her on there. That's okay. We have the olive crest to work with. We do have swags, y'all. What do you think about rose swags? I don't think there's quite enough room for those. And let's see, we have some of our first gens in here. Let's go with our olive crest. Let's do that. That'll look stunningly beautiful and amazing. And I don't think I see, these are seasonal. Yep. Nope, those are not the ones. We'll be just fine with what we have. All right, maybe bows. And of course we have our beautiful trimmings molds. So we'll keep these all close at hand. We'll set them over to the side. We already have Persephone, so we just don't need her again right now. These roses are life in and of itself. They are just spectacular. I think Iron Orchid Designs did us a great service by producing this mold set. Let's get with our olive crest first. Let me move my coffee out of the way because we definitely don't want to spill that. And I keep my clay in this little plastic pencil box in the refrigerator so that when I'm ready to use it, it's fresh and not dried out, because in the early days of Iron Orchid Designs at Two Girls Treasure, I can't tell you how much clay I wasted. And it hurts my feelings, but now, when you know better, you do better, right? Get your clay into a cohesive ball. You want no breaks in it. And if you're gonna do a longer piece, I always find it helpful to roll it out. That way, when I do put it in the mold cavity, it's easier to manipulate. I generally don't have to use any cornstarch. Baking soda is not the right release. It's not the right product. But I, generally speaking, don't use the cornstarch method. And if you're not sure what that is, you can gently dust your mold sets with cornstarch, and that way your clay comes out a little bit easier. And I don't do that. Hard-headed? Maybe. I don't find it necessary all the time. And I know some folks were talking about a release agent. I don't use that either. Not with clay. The clay is very supple. It is very pliable. Very easy to work with. I prefer the clay for applications like this because it is going to give us that aged look. And of course, if we're doing this in a classic black with pewter, maybe some pearl. Lisa, I know you said pearl. We can try it, but I honestly love pewter over midnight. But we'll run a sample board on Monday before we commit. And that way, maybe I'll do it later today. That way we'll know exactly what the differences in tone will be once we're finished. And we can decide what's going to look the most amazing on this piece of furniture, because every piece of furniture is different, and you can do it 100 different ways. You just have to find the way that you love, and then it'll work really well. All right, let's make sure our clay is gathered together. And roll it out. and just lay it in that cavity. It's thawing out now, so it's a little easier to work. When it first comes out of the fridge, it's pretty solid, and it's been in there for a minute. All right, work our way around. I'm just taking a tool and I'm using the tool against that patented micro rim edge. You might be able to get that on the Crazy Chinese fake page, but they're ripping somebody off. They're ripping off a small business. Please don't buy from them. Please don't allow them to cheat small businesses. And squishing that clay on around. And if when you pull your tool back against it, it pulls and tears, it's okay. Go in the other direction, keep working it. You manipulate the clay to work the way you want it to. It doesn't automatically do what you need all the time. You've got to work it and manipulate it, and it's not hard. Nothing about this hurts. This shouldn't hurt your hands if you have arthritis. This should be a lot of fun to work with. All right, let's see what we have. When you get ready to demold, roll that mold set over, manipulate that silicone. You're not going to tear it by rolling it. The silicone is very strong, and you'll end up with a very beautiful olive crest casting. All right, I peeled that off right there, so I'll tink that back in right there, and then we'll roll the rest of this out slowly and gently, and you will get, boom, a beautiful end result. And we have a beautiful olive crest to go around Persephone. Love saying her name. Here we go. This is gonna look good, y'all. All right, we'll tink that out right there. Now, since we're in olive crest and we have Persephone, we could roll the outside edges with something. What would we put there? Is that where we would put the roses? Not sure if that's gonna look stunning right there. I kind of like the simplicity of this. I think I do. We could run a bead of trimmings mold up underneath here. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking about right now. Let me look. Ariel, will you look in the studio bag? I'm looking for the Veridis mold set. That's what I'm thinking. It is the one with the really long greenery. I know it's in there. Let's see. That's the one. That's the one and only Veridis. Let's see it. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, studio assistant. Veridis. Oh, I love this one. I think this will be exactly what we need. I do like to keep my molds in their original packaging until I shred it and I can't keep it in there anymore. But let's look at going down these beautiful legs. And then we can do some things on the sides if we want to. And you know, this takes a lot of clay. It does. We could set these down in resin just like that. I think I'm going to have to, because one, I'm addicted to pouring resin, and two, it won't take nearly as much effort as the clay will. I like the olive crest just like it is. We're going to set that back. Let me grab some amazing casting resin. Now this is the 10-minute quick set right here, 8 to 10 minutes, but if you've ever seen this before, you know it really doesn't take that long. Once we pour it and it cures, we will be able to immediately shape it where we want it on the legs, and that way when we get ready to glue them on and paint them, they will be exactly like they need to be. Are you ready for this? I'm going to scoot the table out of the way, and I'm going to get my chair. And I've got the trick chair. Ooh, so I'm down low. It's okay. It's all right. And I'm going to let me get a cup to pour. I had all of my molds and casting resins ready to go home with me for the hurricane that turned into a non-event, just a rain event, which I'm thankful for. Don't get me wrong. I'm thankful that we didn't have more than what we got. But I didn't get to play with any of my toys. Not really. I had to come back to work to play with them. So come on out. I just broke my stick. Come on out of the house today. The sun is shining. The mud will dry up. And we'll all be just fine. Just fine. There's our side A. This is a chemical process. I should put my gloves on immediately. Yeah, gloves with resin. Now, the smell does not bother me. If it bothers you, put a mask on. If it's really bad, get someone to pour for you. But make sure you wear your rubber gloves when you get ready to pour your resins. Because it is not good for your skin or your hands. And I don't want anybody to get bent out of shape about what this does to you. It really dries your skin. It shreds your nails. So make sure you've got your gloves on. And I could use some of our dyes for this, but I'm not going to. We're just gonna put this together plain white. I'm gonna do 30 mils of part B. Get it in there good. Scrape those sides down because you want all of that material you can get. And then do the same with your side A. Mix that up. And as soon as you get that in the cup, go ahead and scrape the sides down for that too. Oh, it's gonna swim. Yeah, that's a mess. We'll just set that to the side and stir. Once you pour it in, you really don't have a long time to mix this up. Once you see it go clear, that's your clue. It is ready to pour. Get to getting it. Now see, I have some little flecks of clay in here. It's not going to hurt a thing. I use my products a lot, and I have a tendency not to wash them out every time I use them. I do try to wipe them clean, or at least knock some of the dust off of them. But there are just times where I don't get that job done. But it's not going to hurt a thing. And that, my friends, is what 60 mils of casting resin will pour. Now, if you have any spots that don't have the full cavity, go through, touch those cavities, make sure that there's material in all of your crevices. If you see an air bubble, if you see a bubble, not necessarily air, if you see a bubble, go ahead and run your stick over it, and then let's just let it sit. This is how quickly your resin will cure. I'm going to grab my paper towels and wipe my gloves off because I made a mess when I dropped that. And let's wipe this off as well. Now there is a product called Resin Remover. So if you get resin somewhere that you didn't want it, if you get resin and you don't mix it correctly, it's what you use to clean up the mess. We do have that in stock as well. So if you need some resin remover, just look for that on the website, twogirlstreasure.com. Hit the little search button and look for Resin Remover. It is a real product. This is already curing. Watch it go. Your ambient temperature makes the difference in your cure time. Your cure time is not just that it turns white, it's that it turns white and it's not sticky and you're able to demold it easily. But look at it go. Look at that cure right before your eyes. This is the thing that I love the most about using casting resins, is that it is like instant gratification. Pure satisfaction in a bottle. And it really doesn't take that long to get to it. I love this. We'll go down the legs with the Veridis, and I say, I'm really interested in these roses, but is that what's right here? I'm not sure, and if I'm not sure, then it's probably not right, so let's just leave it alone. And maybe we'll just look at some Greek mythology pictures and see what we can find that will help us balance the imagery on the front, on the sides, and on the legs, and make this a stunning feature for anyone's room, bedroom, bathroom. You know what? It doesn't even have to be a dressing table. Just a beautiful accent table for somewhere in your home. But yeah, I'm living large on the Let's Go Black and Pewter on this. I've seen some beautiful work done lately, black on black. And yeah, I like that. I don't think I'll change my mind before Monday, but you never know. You never know. This is going to look fantastic. I may go lighter colored. I may go a classic cream and beige. And then again, I might not. Red's available. What do you think, Ariel? Red? Maybe not. Okay.
I don't know.
Ah, she's not down for the red. That's all right. That's all right. Still a little sticky to the touch. Where I over poured right here, time that cures, I'll be able to just peel that off. please don't use a torch on your mold sets. These silicone mold sets are rated up to 425 degrees so that they're oven safe. So if you put polymer clay in here, you can put it in the oven. If you're baking cookies in your second set, your Sugar Art set, you can do that. You can put them straight in the oven. But you cannot use an extreme heat product and expect that it is going to be okay and not damage your silicone. Even our casting resin, if you round robin pour your resin, will superheat the silicone and it will come apart. It's a reality of the product that we're using. This is a high heat chemical reaction. You have to be careful with it. And I'm not going to use the HydroCast on this simply because HydroCast is not flexible. So HydroCast will not go around the legs like I need it to or want it to. So we just don't need to play with HydroCast on this piece. Gotta have roses on it, y'all. But I believe this is what I've got to have. Do we want roses or grapes, Ariel? Roses or grapes? She's a Greek goddess.
Roses.
I thought so too, thanks. Let's go with these. Let's go with these. We have some beautiful roses to work with. Now that we've watched this cure, and it's not quite ready to demold, there's still some translucent edges we need to wait for, just wait. And so in order for me to be patient and wait, I'm going to pour another set of castings. That way by the time we demold these will be ready. Or almost ready. So we can work these through. Timing is everything, right? All right, there's our part A cup. Here is our part B cup. Sometimes after you pour the resins together, it gets hard to see the markings on the cups. So this is probably why I always over pour my resin and make a lot of castings, because I just pour it to the top and mix it. It's easier for me that way. I love living life like that. All right, we'll stir gently, smoothly, don't beat it. It's not scrambled eggs. And once it turns clear again, it's nice and warm, it's ready. This is one of my favorite mold sets. It's very versatile. I use this to make Christmas ornaments as well. Those beautiful frosted style Christmas ornaments. They look so good in roses. Now, that is going to cure, and these are ready to demold. So we're going to roll the silicone. Still got a little bit of sticky edges. Roll that silicone, roll those out. I want them out while it's nice and warm so that we will have the ability to shape these where we want them to go. while your amazing quick cast is still warm in the mold set, it's like a nice warm cookie coming out of the oven, go ahead, let me tip you up so you can see these legs. Let's go ahead and let's shape these molds. So that when we get ready to glue them on, they are in the condition, the shape we want them to be. Look at that. As long as they are pliable, you can manipulate them all you want. Once they're dry, they're going to be nice and firm and very difficult to shape. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my glue. I can always refer back to my heat gun. Oh, this is nice and sticky and it's stuck. I love that, but I hate that. Come on back off. Because if it's still that pliable, you can stretch it out of shape. We're not going for that. But let's go ahead and get the glue on here. Emphasis on your edges. Hold it in place and then grab your tape. This is a low tack tape, but it is strong enough that we can put these on. And hold them, it sticks to my gloves. Hold them in the place where we want them so that they will maintain their position. There we go. And if you have a spot that's a little bit stubborn, just use your heat gun to heat it up and lay it back in. That's all you got to do. Don't overheat it. They'll burn and you won't see it. It won't burn with a flame. It burns invisible. So be careful. Be careful. All right, let's get the glue on this one. Make sure your edges are covered. Roll that right back in here. Oh, there we go. We've got a slot machine going. I don't even know what time it is, but I'm positive that it is probably time to head out of here and continue with our work day. But one more casting before we go. Now, since my roses are going on the flat side, I think I may leave them off for just a minute and wait to apply them until after I have the side painted, because I may want to do a little bit of script stamping to go underneath this. on the sides, because clearly where I'm putting these molds down right now, these castings, I'm not going to be able to stamp underneath them once they're applied. But I wanted to go ahead and get these started today. Let's get some tape on these. Hold them down. I lost part of my glove. Well, these are not conducive to what I'm working on. There's the finger of my glove, y'all. All right. Throw out some hearts and some smiley faces, laughy faces, some big thumbs up for black on black with pewter. I think that is a great direction to go with this. It's classic. And I like it. I like it. Listen, I buy my Midnight by the gallon because I use so much of it. But we'll do, it's gonna look great. The blue tape comes off, the mold set stays on, the castings stay right where they are. We have roses curing. Let's see. Let's see if we can, oh yeah. Now these are going on the flat side, so we don't need these out yet, but oh, those come out so beautiful. We do have the Alumilite casting resin kits. We have your quick cast. We have your clear cast. We have your color creator kits. And they are all in stock here at Two Girls Treasure on the website and in the store. And yeah, we're going to use some of it. So let's get to getting. Monday morning, first thing, we're going to start painting. So I have from now until Monday to decide what colors are going to look stunning and beautiful on this piece of furniture. All suggestions are welcomed. Drop yours in the comments and we will see what we can do. I'll do some color sampling and we'll see what looks amazing. In the meantime, I still have no idea what time it is, but I know it's Friday. So I hope your Friday is wonderful and amazing and blessed. I hope you've taken the time to check on your elderly neighbors this week. If you haven't, go check on them now. Go check on them. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you right back here Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Diane Pruitt. We are in the studio at Two Girls Treasure. Y'all have a great day. Bye now.